Set design. It can be tricky. Now, if you're a brick filmer, you only have about 2 options when it comes to building your sets. You either build your own from the ground up, using any spare pieces you have, or buy and use already existing sets created by LEGO. This isn't an option for most of us. Thankfully, there's Bricklink, and you can buy literally any brick or minifigure LEGO has ever made from this website on its own. It comes in these little bags. It's pretty cool. It's very useful because instead of buying a $200 set on one building, you can only spend like 50 bucks, get a ton of bricks, and make a billion buildings, or trees, or various other sceneries. Really depends on what you want. Now, I got a bunch of these panel pieces and these plates. Big pieces are nice if you're on a budget, because they're not that expensive, and they can fill up a lot of space. So, you have your pieces. But what are you making? Well, if you already have your story written out, you probably know where it takes place. This scene I wrote takes place in a city. But what makes a city? Well, you got a lot of buildings, people, cars, roads, street signs, but let's focus on the buildings for now. Now, like I said before, you can actually use actual LEGO sets like these modular buildings, though they are very expensive. I only have 2 of them myself. So to fill up more space, I also just put a bunch of random bricks together to sort of create various structures to, perceive themselves as buildings. And also, I make sure I build them high, because you really want to have a lot of verticality within your sets. It really helps make it feel more grand. But sets aren't only just what you see in the background. What really brings those things to life are the props. Props are very important! A prop is the link between your character and their world. And the more your character interacts with the set, with the props, the more believable that world is. Think stuff like flowers in a house, a chicken in the forest, a trash can in the city, or skeletons in an underground dungeon. All this helps tell a larger story about your setting without ever even saying a word. Be sure to dress up your sets as much as you can with smaller props that make sense within the scene. Think about the setting. Are you at a beach? What are you gonna find at a beach? Sand, crabs, umbrellas, people? You gotta make sense. I don't wanna see any of you people doing weird stuff, like putting a DX racer in the middle of the forest. Actually, you know what? When presented properly, pretty much anything can work anywhere. So, go nuts if you really want to. Be creative. I recommend looking up a bunch of custom builds of different sceneries that you're trying to accomplish. There are a ton of talented people out there and a lot of creativity and inspiration to draw from. Not just from these images, but also from your own favorite brickfilmers as well. Okay, what about the sky? You need a sky if you're gonna have a world, right? Well, for me, I used a bunch of poster boards that act as different times of day. We have your nighttime, you have your sundown, sunrise, and some green screens. And for the bright blue daytime skies, I have this tablecloth pinned up to my wall, behind my set. It's always there, so I never have to remove it, but I can also just put other poster boards right in front of it if I want to change the time of day. It's pretty snazzy and pretty simple. If your scene takes place outside, you want to make sure there's a solid amount of distance between your foreground characters and the background sky. This creates the illusion of depth. If your character is standing too close to the background, they're going to cast a shadow on it, and then the illusion is just doesn't look right. Try using a shadow depth of field so that your background is blurred out. Now it's time for some fast tips. Build your set in a way that makes it easy to remove large obstacles that can block a nice camera angle. This makes it easy to diversify your cinematography. If you don't have a lot of pieces to work with, use a lot of close-ups and keep the main focus on your subjects. Put windows in your interior design, and then fill up that window space with some background objects. You not only want to build a world within your characters' homes, but also beyond that too. Have some spare plates? Here's how you can turn that into a building. And here's how you can turn a bunch of skinny plates into a skyscraper way in the background. Your buildings don't need to have a lot of detail to be recognizable as buildings. You can just build up a bunch of bricks in different ways and people will get the idea. And that's pretty much all I have to say on that matter. I hope you've been able to learn something new off this video, especially if you feel like you've been struggling with your sets. I know a lot of people, especially getting into brick filming at first, it can be difficult because you don't have a lot of Legos, but just remember that, again, it's not about what you have, it's how you use it. So just keep going. Want to learn more about this set and these LED lights? Well, check out brickstuff.com, the site that I got these from, or check out how I hid the wiring here on my Instagram. I'm gonna post more behind the scenes stuff there, so if you're interested, go give it a follow, at EdBound. Thank you all so much for watching. I really hope that you guys were able to get something out of this, especially if you have been struggling. If you did, please leave a like or a comment, it really helps out the video. And of course, thank you so much to the Patreons as well. If you would like to support the channel, if you would like to contribute to making these videos even better, I put all the Patreon money back into the videos themselves to make them bigger, grander, crazier, what have it. If you would like to support, please donate on Patreon. It's very easy, but don't feel obligated to. Trust me, watching this video is more than enough support. Thank you all so much.